this now. We were 2-7. Now we 3-7 in the last 10 games and see the Superdome. So that's a positive going forward. Now, if you continue to give up the chunk plays, the splash plays, Christian, we give up 6 splash plays of 20 yards or more. No, you are not going to win. The bottom line is you're not going to win. You know what this reminds me of? We lost last year in the Dome doing this. We won this game. Look at the Giants game last year, the chunk plays. I think we had a couple like we gave up. Oh, that was a 2-play drive, a 3-play drive. We ended up not coming out on top. Our defense has to be where they bend, but don't break. Our red zone defense has been outstanding. Back-to-back games, like for instance, the Seahawks with 0-1. Look how we were forcing field goals against the Vikings. No, we have to be outstanding red zone defense where you're not giving up touchdowns, but you can't be giving up like chunk plays. To tell you the truth, I don't know if I've ever witnessed this. Look at touchdown drives. Christian, playing or just watching, we give up touchdown drives of 5 plays, 3 plays, 3 plays, and 2 plays. I don't know if I've ever witnessed that. No, listen, if your defense is truly playing like they need to play, and I'm nitpicking because I'll expect our defense to be dominant if we're going to win anything this year, you can't be giving up those kind of splash or chunk plays or chunk drives, whatever you call it. I don't think I've ever witnessed that. Now, I always say this, especially when we win, how a Seahawks fan can't really talk trash to you. I mean, we've had, the franchise's history, we've had their number. Christian, we've played them 16 times and we won 10. So it's not a 50-50 proposition like it usually is in the NFL. So out of 16 times we met them in the history of the Saints and Seahawks franchises, we're now 10-6. You look now, this is more importantly, what have we done when we've really been relevant? The Sean Payton era, Drew Brees going forward since 2006. We're now, Christian, we've won 6 of 7. So 6 of 7 regular season contests. Look, the Saints have posted in the Dome how we've been. The Saints have posted a 5-2 record overall in the Superdome, and now we've won the last 4 meetings. So we've beaten the Seahawks 4 games in a row. So basically, we have had their number. Now, when you break down the ebb and flow of the game, and this is something that has to continue. That means we flat out getting it done, and we're helping our defense. We had the ball more than 15 minutes than they did. Again, they had those short drives, so they didn't have to possess the ball. But if we possessing the ball like that, and one of the main reasons why, because we're not getting it done on third down offense or third down defense. We were getting it done on third down defense, not on third down offense. But today we were both outstanding. They were only 1 of 9, 11%. That's a big enough sample size. And we were 8 of 14, 57%, which is outstanding. We were 100% in the red zone, 3 for 3. They were 0 for 1. You look at like our run defense. I mean, not to write home about considering how good we were. We gave up 7.2 yards a run. Again, those splash plays. But I think we were excellent. This is another thing I haven't witnessed in a while in this day and age. You know how many rushing attempts we had? Not 28. We went like high 20s, low 30s, 48 rushing attempts. Now, as long as Taysom Hill and the gang's going forward, hey, I'm not going to poo-poo that because we had 48 rushing attempts, 235 yards, basically a 5-yard average, 4.9. You want to talk about winning football. Now, you can't turn it over. Now, we ended up -1 for the game. We -8 for the season. That's going to catch up with you. And Alvin Kamara, I thought, boy, if Alvin just takes away that fumble, and, it all counts, Seattle doesn't want to play Alvin Kamara. I think before we caught him off guard, but Pete Carroll in the game, they knew about Alvin Kamara. Last season, he had 179 total yards. Now, 128 yards, he had 10 receptions. Well, if you count the 2 previous games versus the Seahawks, He had a 170-yard average. Well, today he got 194 total yards in scrimmage. So if Alvin Kamara is going to tell his grandkids, let me tell you what I did against the Seahawks. He has been outstanding because I think for us to play winning football and how we pay him and what we demand from him, he has to be about 125 to 130. If he's in that range, because I think he's that good as a pass receiver, running back, or running the football. But what more can you say about Taysom Hill? I mean, listen, I'm glad they finally let him throw a pass. Christian, Taysom Hill can throw the ball, especially how he can run. Every now and then you keep defenses off balance. Christian, I know Andy Dalton would definitely throw him a touchdown pass before the season's over at tight end. So think about it. You throw a touchdown, catch a touchdown, run for a touchdown. The Swiss Army knife or jack of all trades, that's being kind. He is truly the modern-day Jim Thorpe, what Taysom Hill has done. And you look at 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown. The last time that happened was the great Archie Manning. So you look at this is not something that happens every day when you're able for Taysom Hill, what he accomplished. Now, I still think as an offensive line, we run block way better than we pass protect. And even at times, I don't know, the combo block, and that was in the first half. We got better, but the combo block, Cesar Ruiz and the center, obviously, McCoy, they could handle Al Woods. Come on. He embarrassed them, but overall, you look at Andy Dalton, and I look at the combination Andy Dalton and Taysom Hill. We had a quarterback rating of 103.5. I think that's winning football. Andy Dalton, the 1 interception, I think he threw it a little behind. But you could see Andy Dalton just more precise. You never see You never see Andy Dalton kind of freak out like Jameis does sometimes. About, the ball's coming out. I got a good pre-snap read. I know where I'm going with the ball. I know how to utilize Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara had 6 targets, 6 catches for 91 yards. Hello. That look what he's done against the Seahawks in the past. Now, Chris Olave, I'd be shocked if he plays against the Bengals.
That was a nasty blow he took.
You can see they're going to look at the film when he hit the ground. He's knocked out. He ain't playing against Cincinnati. I can tell you right now, I'm not a doctor, but I know how the NFL and the NFL Players Association is treating this. Chris Olave is not playing against the Bengals. Now, I don't know about Michael Thomas could be available. Michael Thomas might want to show up so he can show out, say, I'm better than Jamar Chase and all those Bengals receivers. So that's going to be an interesting matchup. But what's not interesting? How about Traquan Smith? Man, Traquan is freaking garbage. And that son of a gun. How about you catch the ball? Andy Dalton stands in there tough, makes a tough throw. He got targeted 4 times, 2 drops, and he had 1 catch for 10 yards.
It was a big catch.
No, now Traquan's not getting really paid the big money, but Traquan is still stealing money. He is not doing right for the Saints. We need Traquan to step up more. You cannot not afford to make those type of plays when all said and done. Now, again, not to always be negative or positive, but Paulson Adebo, we need you to be all NFL, all league now, not all August. We don't need you to be all August off Airline Highway. Paulson Adebo is unbelievable. The teams will tend to go after even Adebo more than they will even Marshawn Lattimore. So Paulson Adebo has to step up. He was very active. He ended up leading the team with 8 tackles. But I thought stepped up the veteran. I thought Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan had a sack and a half. I think they gave half of that to Mario Davis, but really that was like 2 sacks for Cam. He had 2 quarterback hurries, 2 tackles for a loss. But again, why is all the games now, are they that focused on DeMario Davis? Why is Pete Werner head and shoulders above DeMario Davis in tackles? It's not even close. Pete Werner, on the pace that he's on, Christian, he might have, you want to hit the 100 mark, he might have 150. Mm-hmm. He might have 150 tackles. So when you look at who's contributing and not contributing, the bottom line, I agree with Deuce here. that we're going to win anything or be better. You know, it is a win, and they all count the same, but we got to play a whole lot better. We just have to. The competition is going to get stiffer. But, Christian, realistically, I can show you where I predicted they'd be at right now. Okay, we were 1-3. I had thought after 5 games, I said, you know, we have a chance to be 4-1. I thought 3-2. What are we right now?
2-3.
2-3. So we just one game back. So you have to look at where we're at. I still think we could be in the heat, think of things in the NFC South. And so we're right there. And you still got to take it one game at a time. We don't have to worry about the future. We've got to take care of the Bengals when they come to town next Sunday. And that's going to be critical. These are very winnable games. You have to look at like who we truly playing and how you view your opponents. Okay, the Seahawks. If you're going to be a playoff team, hell yeah, we should beat Seattle. The Bengals are up and down right now. Look at the Cardinals. Now it might be a short week, having to go to Arizona. The Cardinals not to write home about. The Raiders have not lived up to expectations in the AFC West. So who knows? You can go on a winning streak. Now, that's one thing. I don't know if we can do that now, but we've done that in the past with Drew Brees and Sean Payton. When all of a sudden, can you go on that handful of winning streaks? Like, can you win 5 games or half a dozen in a row? Then all of a sudden, everybody forgets that poor start when, you laid a few eggs. But no, a big win against Seattle. And I thought, let me tell you, everybody wants the franchise quarterback. And if I'm a Seahawks fan, I wish we had Russell Wilson. Man, what is Russell Wilson going to do better than Geno Smith? He ain't going to do better than what Geno Smith has done so far this year. His quarterback rating was almost 140, and he had 3 touchdowns, 268 yards. I mean, you don't think Geno Smith did? Look at Lockett averaged 21 yards reception. DK Metcalf, 18. The tight end, Font, 16 and a half. No vet. So, I mean, think of the weapons and how you have the right quarterback. So a lot of times everybody's worried about who's the next Saints quarterback. Who's going to be the next Saints quarterback? All I know is Andy Dalton's playing winning football for us right now with the combination of Taysom Hill. You think Andy Dalton cares if Taysom Hill comes in the game at quarterback?
No.
He could care less. Oh, no, I want to be in the game all the time. I'm the man. What? Andy Dalton wants to win. He doesn't care if Taysom Hill comes in there and contribute. So it's all a combination, put everybody together and come away with a winning performance. All I know is you scored 30-some points, you should never lose. And the Saints scored 39. So, Christian, I would say, let's say we had 29 points. You should never lose. If you're in the high 20s, if your defense is doing their job, which we need our defense to do, you should be able to win. Hopefully that's the case against Cincinnati. Like, I think if we can hold Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, I don't know, let's say 24, 26 points, something like that, well, we should win. Because I think they're that explosive, but then our offense have to do something. But we can't get in a shootout like back and forth and give up those chunk plays like we did today. Again, I'm going to say that as we go to the break. I haven't witnessed this. Touchdown drives, 5 plays, 3 plays, 3 plays, 2 plays. Come on. Experienced defense that we have. If you have a championship defense, you do not do that. You do not allow that. And that has to be the strength of our team this year is our defense. And that was embarrassing, even though we won the game, considering those chunk plays we gave up.
We're just getting started here. He's Bobby. I'm Christian. The point after Saints win 39-32. This is the Community Coffee New Orleans Saints Radio Network.